Hey, good evening. Hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres, and as you can probably see, it's dark out. So it's the end of the day here, 6 o'clock, and I had something that I wanted to talk about, and it was lessons learned. Learning lessons. And just a little while ago, like 15 minutes ago or so, I was down on the pond here because my kids said, "Can you come down and make sure the pond is safe?" And of course, growing up in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, I got lots of experience on Tippy Pond checking the ice to make sure it was safe. And I must have gone through the ice there 5 times bad. The water was only maybe 6 feet deep at the most. Enough to drown in. And then a bunch of times around the edges, not too bad. But I mean, me and my friends tempted fate a lot there. And so here on our pond, somehow I don't want my kids to do what I did. So I always tell them, come get me and I'll check the ice, make sure it's safe. My oldest son went down with them the other day and checked it, and it was making cracking noises. So they got off of it. So what we usually do is we go down there with a drill, a cordless drill a hole, and check and see exactly how deep it is. And so I went down there and I checked it for him. I went right out there, I drilled a hole, and it was 2 inches thick, which is usually fine, especially for little kids. And before I gave him the okay, I started to walk around the edge just to make sure there wasn't any soft spots or anything like that. Here it is. It's like December 4th, and we haven't had a lot of really cold weather yet. And when you know, I went through. I just heard that cracking noise, and I stood there to see what was going to happen, like I didn't know, and then poosh, right through I went. Only went up to my waist, though, so I made it out okay. But my kids have been taught that, hey, there's a lot of danger there with going through the ice. So they came running to my rescue, but I was okay. I have a lot of experience going through the ice. But it made me think that even lessons that we've learned, we need to learn them again. I figured I'd make this video real quick before I head up to the house to change. But I got a package in the mail about a week ago, and it didn't. I don't know how it came. Maybe UPS. I'm not really sure, but it was delivered here, and it had a message to it. So it says, "Ooh, hi Mark, from one vet homesteader to another. Thank you for the informative videos, especially where you make charcuterie." Charcuterie. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and with this gift, hoping you will find continued uses for those awful good bits. Bob Reagan. And what it was is a book. This guy that watches my videos sent me a book. And here it is right there. Awful good. And I've gone through it, not in depth, and I'm going to. And it's cooking from the heart with guts. That's what it says on here. And if you don't know, awful, spelled that way, is what we would call the guts of an animal. All right, so here it is. Going into the Christmas season, and I want to thank Bob a lot for that. It really meant a lot to me, and as you can see, it meant a lot to my dogs too, because the delivery man left it out there, and they fought over it a little bit, and then put a little wear on it, but that's okay. The information is still there. But here it is, wintertime, and it's cold, and maybe we can't do a lot of the things outside that we want to do. A lot of the stuff that I do, I have to do. But this is the time of year where the homesteader needs to expand their horizons. And I got to thinking about making this video actually today when the mail came, and there was a seed catalog there, right? Now, usually they come after the first of the year, but I think this seed catalog is wanting to court my business, get my attention. But we live in an age where information is at our fingertips. If you want to know how to do things, homesteading things, you can get on the internet and you can find out just about anything that you want. And I think that you have to sift through it a little bit and see who is speaking on your wavelength, you know. But there's so many things that you can learn during this time of the year. And, you know, as I learned today, like testing the ice, I still know how to do that. And I still know how to do it really well. And it brought back fond memories of my childhood, because the pond that I used to test was about a mile from my parents' house. So there was always that long walk home with wet clothes on. And here I only had to walk maybe about a couple hundred yards from down the pond up here. And actually inside of boots where your legs are soaking wet and your boots are full of water, it actually gets kind of warm for a little while before it gets really cold. So anyway, I wanted to thank Bob, and I wanted to give everybody a heads up that I'm going to pass a lot of this information on. I'm going to be doing a lot of butchering here coming up. I've got a few pigs to do, and I've got a few beef to do, and I'm going to go through this book starting tonight, unless I watch TV instead, and see what's in here that I would like to pass on. But there's so many things out there. And in the homesteading business, you can just try out all these different processes that are really exciting. And then you have YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff that you can share those processes with other homesteaders. So consider it. If you come across something really cool like this guy did, this Awful Good book, please let me know, and maybe I can look into it. I got a lot of free time. Now that Oprah's not on anymore, I got even more. Okay, Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.